Hi, everybody, and welcome to this quick webinar on becoming a Bridges institutional champion. My name is Susie Johnson-Smith, and I come to you from Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. I'm a consultant with AHA Process, as well as a community trainer working in the Human Services, Social Services Division at the City of Peterborough. So I wanted to share with you a little bit today around our journey of not only part of my journey of being a trainer and becoming a Bridges institutional champion, but our journey of implementing the Bridges Out of Poverty framework in the City of Peterborough and share some of our best practices. So first of all, let's take a look at, our 4 Bridges lenses and how, assuming that many of you have attended the individual lens, that's our core Bridges Out of Poverty workshop, which is all about improving relationships and, understanding our own societal lens, the lens of others, and how we can engage better together and work alongside of one another to support individuals in breaking that cycle of long-term instability. And then we start talking about the institutional lens. And so once you've attended an individual lens, oftentimes it's like, wow, I never knew this, and we can't unlearn it. And when we're ready for the next steps, we start talking about the institutional lens of improving outcomes, looking through the eyes of the institution and our organization. How can we match our programs and services to the population we're serving? How can we improve our outcomes and really look at case management practices, policies, and procedures now that we really understand the individuals we're serving and ourselves better as service providers to come together and improve our outcomes as an institution. So that's what I'm going to focus on together today. Just quickly mentioning the community and policy lens, equally important as we move through these circles, in that the community lens is really then about collaboration, improving systems, involving all of the sectors, and then ultimately improving systems at the policy level and starting to influence policy so that we start to actually create community well-being together, working alongside of one another and having everyone's voice at the decision-making tables. So that's sort of a quick overview of the Bridges lenses, and I'm focusing more on the institutional lens today in this quick tutorial. And so the institutional lens workshop has been completely revised from the launch of the 5th edition Bridges Out of Poverty book. And the institutional lens now matches that entire section of the book. So once you've attended a day 1 individual lens workshop and you're ready to look at the institutional lens, then we start with reviewing the model and looking in more detail at what I just talked to you about in the previous slide. And just working through the curriculum, we apply the individual lens, because sometimes it's been a few months, maybe even a year between the individual lens workshop and an institutional lens workshop. And so we look now back through that individual lens and applying it to a real case study at the beginning of an institutional lens workshop. And so we look at a family that's experiencing instability and work through the day 1 material, the individual lens material of hidden rules, mental model, the causes of poverty, key concepts, language, all of those elements of how we can help stabilize the environment of someone who's struggling in instability. And so that's, applying those individual lens concepts as a bit of a refresher before we then dive into the client life cycle. So now we're entering into the institutional lens, really diving deep into how our organization operates. So it's really effective to do this workshop with an entire organization where we look at the client life cycle. We look at everything the client goes through at your organization to access services. What are our expectations? How do we communicate those expectations? What are some of the barriers? Where are relationships broken? And that's a real key question, because as we learn in individual lens, relationships are the key to change and learning. So the client life cycle is a fascinating activity on the heels of an individual lens workshop to really look deeply into your programs and services and how we may be hindering or how we can improve the access that our clients have to our organizations. Then we look at theory of change. Our theory of change, and there are theory of change models. Some organizations use an educational model, some use a support model, some use a sanctions model. Where we think if we put sanctions and monitoring in place that will motivate the individual. So theory of change is often tied to, your funding, what you're funded for, what is the change you're asking your clients to make, and who's change talking first, the organization or the client. And that leads us beautifully into the motivational approach, where we really talk about, what approach do you use as an organization, and including your leadership. Are you, practicing transactional case management, where it's really about the fix-it approach, versus a transformational case management and transformational leadership, which is about the motivational approach. So we really explore that together. And then the afternoon of an institutional lens workshop is looking at policies and procedures and case management practices, and ultimately, diving deep into, do we apply the Bridges lens into our policies, procedures, and practices? And are we actually providing services that meet where the clients are at or where we think they should be? And then we finally finish off an institutional lens workshop with retrofitting your organization, which shares tips and strategies on skill sets and training and engaging your leaders and engaging your board to become a people-centered coaching culture, to become a people-centered Bridges organization. And there's quizzes and checklists and all kinds of things that help us to strategically plan and create a work plan that helps us to actually map out how we can go about this. So that's an overview of the updated workshop that now matches the book. I personally love it. I think if I had access to this kind of material years ago, it might have not been such a long journey for me to get to where we are today. So that leads to where we are today. And also, we do finish off a day 2 workshop that discusses, retrofitting your organization. So this is kind of at the tail end of a day 2 workshop, an institutional lens workshop, where we actually start to talk about where are we going to go next? What are we celebrating as an organization? What do we do well in all of the learning that we've just covered? And then what area are we going to begin to focus on as we want to become an institutional champion of the Bridges work and embedding it into our organizations? And so this activity is a real great discussion opener, which starts to actually help organizations map out what their next steps can look like and what the future state of their organization can look like. So this is just a tail end of institutional lens workshop. And we cap off our day with giving more details in an institutional lens workshop on the Bridges model. So I'm really going to focus on the green section you see before you around looking at our case management policies and procedure changes again in the board and institutional training, leadership training, the partnerships you have with the community. Are you working in silos, both internally and externally, or are you getting a return on investment and embedding the Bridges lens for long-term solutions? And so I'm focusing more on the institutional lens as I share the following roadmap that we've been on, which kind of mimics this Bridges model. So what we started to do as we went through the institutional lens workshop and embedding and looking at our case management practices here in Peterborough, then we started to map out a very similar mental model that you see before you that was actually all around the work that we were doing. So I'm going to focus on the middle one, but I did want to show everybody the other pieces as well. And so under individual lens, these are some of the strategies that we've been doing in Peterborough that have been applying that last picture that I just showed you of the Bridges model, that have been applying it here. So from getting ahead to staying ahead to financial literacy programs to Bridges out of poverty training and building that critical mass of understanding. I'm just going to go through quickly our work plan of things that we've done at the institutional lens after all of the things that I've talked to you so far about. So certifying a trainer is really essential for your organization with refreshers. We can't just tick off a box and say, I've had Bridges training once in our career. I never stop learning. I've trained thousands of individuals now. It is a continuous learning and continuous improvement process of applying the Bridges lens at the institutional level, and having a trainer to be that champion and to understand the full picture is really essential to be able to champion the changes that you're making as an organization. Some of the things that we also did in Peterborough was looking at all of our letters and forms and marketing material and revise them now that we more deeply understood the language and story structure and the way we negotiate environments. So again, applying the Bridges learning, and there's an activity in the institutional lens workshop that helps us to look at the way in which we communicate and the way in which we market our material, etc. And so that's one of the things we've done here. And we use our client advisory group to help us do that. We also have a drop-in case manager at reception, which is actually talked about in the book in the section 2, around really respecting and honoring that tyranny of the moment that our clients are often experiencing. So the people we serve often are in the tyranny of the moment, have access transportation to get across town, to come into our office. And, you know, for years without an appointment, we wouldn't see them. And so we now actually have a case manager that works at reception and kind of listens for that tyranny of the moment, steps in, and that's on rotation, and just sort of helps put out the fire, and then books a follow-up appointment with the worker. So making those deposits to the relationship bank. We do have a client advisory group. I'm happy to share the terms of reference with anybody who's interested. It was a long work in progress for us to, you know, get interest and buy-in. We pay our clients a stipend to come and help us to give advice on our programs and services. If we're going to create a new program, we have a policy in place that says we won't implement it without running it by our client advisory group first, to even help us just with the marketing material or some of the information about the working group that we're talking about, or the workshop that we're talking about, or program. And we learned so much in collaboration with the people that we're serving to help us improve our programs and services and ultimately get better outcomes. So by doing things like running workshops by them, we've increased our attendance significantly, almost doubled our attendance to workshops. Our recruitment and new hire orientation process now includes, mandatory bridges training. We have performance management strategies in place that actually use the lingo of bridges. So, you know, was a deposit to the relationship bank made? Lots of elements that are used in our training portfolio and our new hire orientation process, whereby we use the foundation of Bridges Out of Poverty for all frontline staff to understand the individuals that we're working with and families we're serving more effectively before they actually get a caseload of clients to work with. As I mentioned, we significantly increased our attendance in workshops. One workshop in particular, we went from 57% to 96% attendance by actually applying the Bridges lens. And without attendance, we don't have anything. And so by actually revamping, some of our workshops using the Bridges lens and understanding it has significantly improved our outcomes, which obviously influences our funding. One of the things that I'm really proud about is shifting from traditional case management and, really using that Bridges lens to shift from traditional case management of, goal setting almost for individuals, instead now moving into transformational life stabilization coaching, using a coaching framework that we use here in the office, as well as Bridges Out of Poverty, 11 essential resources. So marry those two together for a true coaching relationship. And we have a lot of staff training that takes place for that around life stabilization coaching using those 11 resources. So completing an 11 essential resource assessment with the individuals they're serving, and then them, choosing the path that they would like to first work on, of course, celebrating the high resources and then working on some of the ones that they choose to work on. And finally, a lot of leadership training happening here in Peterborough, a lot of coaching training around really adopting a coaching philosophy overall to become a people-centered coaching culture at all levels of the organization, moving away from transactional leadership, as well as, you can't have transformational coaching in frontline with transactional leadership. The whole shift has to take place where we become a people-centered coaching culture. And, as I often say, that is a work in progress for us. These are some of the things that we've been implementing to support the policy, procedure, and case management practices that we are changing using the Bridges lens and adopting the Bridges lens. So when we have case studies, case discussions, when we do 11 essential resource assessments with our clients, any of those pieces, again, it is a work in progress. And COVID certainly, set us back a little bit from the path that we were on, but we really have had a lot of staff training, staff days, division days, entire division days to discuss how we can become a people-centered coaching culture together. And then finally, our community lens. Again, I focused one by one on the institutional lens because today is all about becoming an institutional champion, looking at the workshop, the day 2 workshop that is really fantastic to help support all of the things that you see here before you, to help you lay out a work plan that can look very similar to the one that you see now. These are just some examples. There's loads of examples that can happen with all organizations of how we can adopt the Bridges framework into our organizations and ultimately become a Bridges champion. The community lens, I'm proud to say lots of private sector involvement, workplace stability for our employers, engaging with our Employment Ontario offices, and really continuing to share implementation strategies, learn from one another, host these community of practice meetings where all of our trained community partners, which are thousands now in Peterborough, come together to talk about best practices. And then again, COVID stalled that a little bit for us, but 2022 has been getting back up and running to normal so that we can actually start to, get back to where we were going in the momentum that we were building. It's funny, I've often said that organizations, including ours during COVID, were a little bit in tyranny of the moment ourselves. We were in reactive mode, something we'd never dealt with before, and that stalled some of our work plan items. So this is the road that we've been on. It is a continuous journey for all of us here in Peterborough. Very proud of it, but there's still lots of work to be done as we continue on our journey to create community well-being and create a Bridges community here. So if you have any questions about this information, you want to talk a little bit more about the day 2 workshop or material, or concrete practices of how we can embed this and how I can support you in embedding this into your organization in any way, please reach out and contact me. You can see my email there on the screen before you. And I hope that you found today's information helpful and inspiring to help you move your Bridges implementation to the next level and keep doing the great work that you're doing. Thank you so much.